Living by Faith, Chapter 18, Justification by Faith. Whatsoever is not of faith is sin. Romans 14, verse 23. Faith is of God and not of ourselves. Ephesians 2, verse 8. Therefore, whatsoever is not of God is sin. Whatsoever is of God is righteousness. Faith is a gift of God, and whatsoever is of faith is therefore righteousness, as certainly as whatsoever is not of faith is sin. Jesus Christ is the author and finisher of faith, Hebrews 12, verse 2. And the Word of God is a channel through which it comes and the means by which it operates. For faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God, Romans 10, verse 17. Where there is no Word of God, there can be no faith. The Word of God is the most substantial and the most powerful thing in the universe. It is the means by which all things were produced. It carries in itself creative power. For by the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the hosts of them by the breath of his mouth. For he spake, and it was. He commanded, and it stood fast. Psalms 33, verse 6 and 9. And when this world was thus made, and darkness covered the deep, God said, Let there be light, and there was light. The Word of God is self-fulfilling, and of itself it accomplishes the will of God in you as you receive it, as it is in truth the Word of God. When you receive the Word of God which ye heard of us, you receive it, not as the word of men, but as it is in truth the Word of God which effectually worketh also in you that believe. 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 13. Thus, to receive the Word of God, to yield your heart to it that it may work in your life, this is genuine belief. This is true faith. This is the faith by which you can be justified, made righteous indeed, for by it the very will of God, as expressed in His own word, is accomplished in your life by the creative word of Him who was spoken. This is the work of faith. This is the righteousness, the right doing of God, which is by faith. Thus it is God that worketh in you, both to will and to do of His good pleasure. Thus the character, the righteousness of God is manifested in your life, delivering you from the power of sin to the saving of your soul in righteousness. This is justification by faith alone. This is justification by faith without works. And faith being the gift of God, coming by the word of God, and itself working in you, the works of God, needs none of your sinful work to make it good and acceptable to God. Faith itself works in you that which is good, and is sufficient of itself to fill all your life with the goodness of God, and does not need your imperfect effort to give it merit. This faith is not dependent on you for good works. Instead, it gives the good works to you. The expression is not faith in works, but faith which works. For in Jesus Christ neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith which worketh by love. Galatians 5, verse 6. Seest thou how faith wrought? James 2, verse 22. Remembering without ceasing your work of faith, and the work of faith with power, 1 Thessalonians 1, verse 3, and 2 Thessalonians 1, verse 11. And this is the work of God, that ye believe on Him whom He hath sent, John 6, verse 29. This is the faith of God, which Jesus exhorts us to have, Mark 11, verse 22, which was revealed in Him, and which by His grace is a free gift to you and every other soul on earth.